Nigerian Flamingos will be facing Dr Congo in Kinshasa coming up on Sunday. This is the first leg of the Women World Cup qualifiers. And right now, that will be the first story we'll be looking at as we quickly look at Oluokere list 20 players for Dr Congo clash. Welcome on 360 Sport. On Trust TV, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Joining me is usual suspects. Hello, Peter. Good to have you.
Yeah, good evening, Adeni. It's my pleasure to be back to the studio.
Okay, let's look at the first story that I just at least there are 20 players. They'll be playing for Nigeria at the World Cup qualifier that will be taking place in Kinshasa. But the main thing right now is that the team list is out. It was released yesterday by the coach of the Under-17 Women World Cup team called Flamingos. Oluokere has done that. And now let's look at the list starting from the goalkeeper, defenders, midfielder, and also the forwards. Starting from the goalkeeper, we have Faith Omilana, Linda Jiwaku, two goalkeepers there. Defenders, we have Blessing Sunday, Comfort Florenshaw, Confidence Woha, Tuminino Additional, Mamuzos Edafe, Miracle Usani, Olamide Oyinlola. Those are the defenders that will be holding the bag for Nigeria. See, continue about the list. We look at the midfielders now and the forwards. Blessing Emmanuel, Taiwo Afolabi, Chidera Okenwa, Aminat Bello. They are the midfielders that will play in that game against Dr Congo, while the forwards or strikers are Sofiat Bankole, Danzozu Alvin, Anastasia Atume, Kafayat Bashiru, Rahimot Adebayo, Joy Igbokwe, and you have Okpeyemi Ajakaye. The 20 players that have been called, at least picked from the camp. They've been in camp for a while, and now they picked the 20 players that will be prosecuting that game against Dr Congo in Kinshasa on Sunday, first leg. And hopefully these 20 ladies can do us proud on Sunday.
Well, when you have faith and blessing in your team,
and joy,
you have faith, joy, and blessing in your team, success is already yours. So from the team list, we have joy, we have blessing, and we have
a lot of good names there.
So that is not a problem. Okay, and also they're going to get their motivation from the Super Falcons for what they did by qualifying the country for the Nations Cup and for the good work that they've been doing. So I'm sure also they too, they will not take it lightly and underrate their opponents, that when it comes to women's football in Africa, we are the best. So they're not going to look into that. They'll go out there with their best and give it all out by winning the match convincingly. But what I think we just need to do right now is this same set of players that we have, we should allow them to be the one graduating. Not that we'll have another competition, we'll bring in 4, 5, 6 players so that the teamwork will be there for all of them. We have 2 goalkeepers now, not when it comes to Under-17 World Cup. We now change the 2 goalkeepers to 3 or 4 just because we want to make provision for some. The midfielders, only 5 midfielders. So that means the coach is attacking prone. He's looking at how I can score more goals and be defensive also. Look at the defenders and look at the attackers.
Defenders
also.
Now, Confidence. Let's look at the defenders again. You have Confidence Woha, Tuminino Additional, Mamuso Edafe, Miracle Usani, Olamide Inola, and also not forget the blessing you mentioned, Blessing Sunday and Comfort for Lauren Shaw. The 7 of them will be at the back to hold the Congo DR strikers.
Yeah, so once you are going for a competition, you have 7 defenders. You've already made provision for if there's an injury or someone is not fit to play, so there will be someone to replace that person. So that means you are going to that match, to that competition, being defensive minded. So it's a very, very good one. So that's why I said earlier that it is better we continue like this. Let's continue giving the players the chance, not when it comes to the big stage, the big picture. You now remember that we have someone that have been playing in Germany for the past 4 or 5 years. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but we have people.
It shouldn't be our norm.
It shouldn't be our norm. We have people that qualified us for this competition, that were there for, that without them we wouldn't have qualified.
So they deserve
to play. So that is the issue here. If those people also they are around, let's call them to come and play the qualifiers. Not when someone has already finished cooking the soup, you now come and say, "Kai, let me taste and see if the food is sweet or not." So that's what I'm trying to say here.
Now, and if you look at the midfielders and also the strikers, you see that okay, we have a balance. I love the way the coach actually plays. And let's look at the strikers now. You have Sofiat Bankole, Danzozo Alvin, and you have Anastasia Atume. If you count it for that's 7 strikers, and then you have 5 midfielders. Or
Yeah,
four
midfielders. Okay, my worry now is I don't know the formation that the coach wants to play.
By bringing 4 midfielders.
By bringing only 4 midfielders, going with 7 defenders, and going with 7 attackers. So that means we have 7 attackers, 7 defenders, and 4 midfielders. So is it that he wants to play like what the likes of Liverpool, they normally play, that they collapse 3 at the back, they will take 2 defenders to join the 3 midfielders to play from the wing? Is that what he wants to do? Do they have that strength to do that? Because going to a competition with, okay, just a 1-2 matches with 4 defenders, what during the training, we have 2 defenders down with injury, growing injury, muscle pull, 2 from the 4 you are going with. What happens? How are you going to make it up?
Then you have to be considering the strikers to come back and help.
And by the time you take a striker to be to become a midfielder, definitely there's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. Not that they will not perform, except if you have utility player among the striker that can be converted to a midfielder, or among the defender that can be converted into the midfielder. But going to a competition with only 4 midfielders, I think the midfielders, they are the propeller that keeps the engine of a team running. Once you lose it from the midfield, both your defense and your attack will be wide open.
And taking it from your mouth, you look at the same thing happened at the Nations Cup when we went with lesser midfielders. Yeah. Is it now a Nigerian style that we begin to go with lesser midfielders? I remember at the Nations Cup.
And we said this here also that, so why are we going with
we have more strikers.
The 3 goalkeepers we even went to the AFCON with.
We went with 4.
I'm sorry, the 4 that we went to. Only one. So the 3 other people, they just went there to mark register, in which we'll have used that opportunity to add 1 or 2 midfielders to our. So I'm sure we've learned our lesson from there also. Then I'm sure also the coach of the young ladies under 17, they will.
Although this is just a qualifier, but let's see, by the time they qualify for the India 2022, if they qualify now, then they will be like, okay, let's see what the team will be presenting. I hope it will be short of midfielders.
Okay, it is what you do during the qualifying stages. The pattern that the players are used to, the pattern that you are used to as a coach during the qualifiers, that's the same pattern you want to go to the World Cup with. If you qualify, the earlier the better. We'll look at it. If it's giving you the results, is it that it's giving you the result because you are lucky?
Or maybe your opponents were not just good enough.
Good enough to, and you can't compare when you are playing qualifiers in Africa to the World Cup, the world stage. There are 2 different ball games.
And looking at this team, I think they've qualified to the quarterfinals twice at the World Cup. This time around, if they are able to scale through Congo DR, and at least let's see them qualifying for the World Cup, do you think they will be able to at least this time around maybe to put up a better performance to at least cut that quarterfinal they normally get to? Let's see if they can get to semi-final this time around, or even scoop the cup.
Okay, it depends on our preparation. That's just the truth. It depends on the way where do you want to play the World Cup?
India.
Most of these players, they've never set foot outside this country. The climate, the condition, the temperature over there will be totally different. Before the competition, if you qualify, are we going to take them to a country that have almost the same culture with Indian to camp them for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks so that they can acclimatize with the weather, with the situation in India? Or we're not going to do that. We'll be waiting for a manna to fall from heaven and say that they are going to win. So that is all we need to do. We need to prepare adequately because we have the resources to make us proud. We have the resources to take us to the semi-final, to win the competition for us. But how prepared are we?
How prepared are we? Talking about Nigerian teams, it's not only to just do the fire brigade approach. We need to really plan. Although the ladies have been in camp for like 2 or 3 weeks or thereabout, but hopefully they will make Nigerians smile. They've always been doing it. The under-17 Flamingos representing Nigeria at the World Cup qualifier against Dr Congo that will be coming up in Kinshasa on Sunday. We wish them the best as they file out to play that game. Now, let's look at some matches that will be coming up this Friday. Matches will be coming up this evening. And now we look at the Spanish La Liga, where Sevilla will be playing against Alaves. Sevilla, a team that you can just rate as Europa Cup kings. And also, when it comes to La Liga right now, they are also there as among the big boys.
Yeah, Sevilla, they are doing very well. They are among the big boys, definitely. They are second on the table, 54 points, 6 points behind Real Madrid. And I think they've lost only 2 matches
so far this
season. They lost to Real Betis and they lost to Real Madrid. So winning tonight's match will be like they are putting pressure on the league leader, Real Madrid, who is playing on, and I think over the weekend, they are playing their own match over the weekend, and they're having, I think, more like a derby with Real Sociedad. So if they are able to, that's Sevilla, if they are able to win their own match tonight, the pressure will be there on Real Madrid against Real Sociedad to see what will happen. So,
and it's going to be a tough match
it's
for
going to
Real
be a tough
Madrid
match
against Real Sociedad.
It will be a very, very tough match. You know, when Real and Real are playing, you know what happens now. Nobody can see
reality.
You see the reality.
Now we've been looking at La Liga there, a match coming up between Sevilla and Alaves tonight. Now we move to Italy. The match will also be coming up over there, Italia Serie A. Let's look at that quickly as Salernitana play against Inter Milan. Inter Milan, they will be hosting Salernitana. Well, we know that teams are prowess. We know what they've been doing. Talking about Salernitana, well, I don't expect them to turn things around.
Well, you'll be surprised that they might turn things around
seriously,
tonight. Yeah, seriously, yeah. Because I think their last 5 matches, and they drew 4 times and they lost 1. So they can go with the mindset of drawing a match. And if you look at Inter Milan, their last 5 matches, they scored only 1 goal. 1 goal in 5 matches for Inter Milan. So that shows that, okay, also they are not doing very well in front of goals. However, in Serie A also, I think Real Madrid, they've scored the most goals in Serie A with 55 goals. While Salernitana, they've considered the highest, 56 goals.
So it's like they swap position. You take the higher goals,
So we're going to see what will happen tonight.
Goodness.
And Inter Milan also is a match for them to win tonight, because winning tonight's match, they are 2 points behind Napoli and AC Milan. So winning tonight's match will take them a point above them, and they have a game at hand to play. So it's a must match for them to win. And Salernitana on their own also, they can get their motivation from, we are top of the table, I mean, we are bottom of the table, so nobody's expecting us to win. Even if it is a draw, let's get a draw. Or let's even surprise everybody by winning tonight's match and leave our current position. So it's going to be a very tough match, but I say Inter Milan, no matter how difficult it is for them to get a win. And the best Salernitana can get from this game will be a draw.
Well, let's just hope that Salernitana can come out from that draw and at least get a draw away to Inter Milan. Let's go Germany now. Let's talk about German Bundesliga. The match will also be coming up there. Let's quickly look at FC Augsburg versus Arminia Bielefeld. You look at the two teams. Well, if we follow the history of German Bundesliga, Augsburg, Arminia Bielefeld. I remember when Patrick Owomoyela used to play for Arminia Bielefeld then, and you have Augsburg, a team that also, we have some Nigerians that play for Augsburg before, but for this match rather, for the two teams playing today, I'm not staying with anyone out of the two.
Okay, and I'll stay with Arminia because of our own what's his name that played with them before. Because of that, I'll stay with them and see what can happen. Because if you look at the two names, people even be asking you that, are these people really playing in German Bundesliga? Because their name don't ring bell at all. It don't ring bell at all. Not in Champions League, not in Europa, not in anything whatsoever. But it is something that they do, and they do well.
Well, hopefully, let's see if this team, Arminia Bielefeld, will be able to win against Augsburg. We'll be looking at matches for this weekend. It's starting from today, Friday, and a lot of games will be coming up. We looked at Sevilla versus Alaves in La Liga. Don't forget Inter Milan playing host to Salernitana, and in German Bundesliga, it's going to be a duel between Augsburg and the host team, Arminia Bielefeld there. Now, let's go French. As we look at French League 1, also, Olympique Lyon versus Lorient. In this team called Lorient, we have a Nigerian there. In fact, 2 of them, but at least we have a player who we know that, okay, probably his team should be able to win against Lyon. Do you want to ask me about this Nigerian? Well, hopefully, can Lorient beat Lyon in this game?
Okay, it's possible. It's possible, but however, with the current form of Lyon right now, I think it will be difficult for them to do. And Lyon, they are still in the Champions League, so I think they are playing next week or upper week. So they want to use this as an opportunity to get themselves prepared mentally, because when it comes to a match like this, an individual mentality is the whole team mentality. So once they get it right now, they'll go into their next match with confidence that they can still do it. So I see it as a very difficult match, but I think Leon can spring the surprise and win the match.
Well, because maybe I should dwell with the Nigerians. Maybe Lorient should win that game.
That's allowed.
Now let's focus on our topic for this hour. Let's look at the fact that Russian football, I remember when FIFA and UEFA actually expelled them from playing football for now because of the issue of crisis. Now let's focus on Russia Football Union. Right now they have actually sued or filed a case against FIFA and UEFA for the fact that they were being expelled from football activities. And we are looking at this particular story before our time actually goes off. Russian Football Federation. Now, they decide to go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport by filing a case against FIFA and UEFA, saying, okay, tell us why, okay, what are the reasons? Do we get justification for the fact that you expelled us from world football and all that?
Okay, to start with, nobody is supporting what is going on between Russia and Ukraine. It is not a good one, sincerely, but we should be careful not to mix politics with sport. It's this same FIFA that will tell countries that don't mix politics with football. We know what they did when we had issue in other countries. So expelling them, I think maybe they have a justification. I'm sure their lawyer will have gone through the FIFA rules that says that these are the things that you must have done before we can expel you from doing so. If FIFA haven't done that, then probably they have a case. Like we said on the show earlier, that the first pronouncement from FIFA was they're not going to host their flag, they're not going to sing the national anthem, they are playing in the neutral ground. These are the punishments that we are used to, that FIFA normally do. Now, telling them that they cannot compete in whatsoever in FIFA or UEFA, I think probably is something that they should reconsider and look into if truly it is in line with their constitution, their articles, and their model of operandi, that this is allowed to happen. Because I'm sure the Russian Football Federation, they wouldn't have gone to the Court of Arbitration if they didn't have any justification, or they've not seen a loopholes in that decision taken by FIFA and UEFA. And it will be very bad for the game of football to see that they've already mixed politics, okay, with the football. Despite that, nobody is supporting what Russia is doing now, currently in Ukraine. But sports unites people. We should have seen an opportunity where this will even unite people together. Maybe this will even bring senses to the leaders that, no, the people that we are trying to invade, they are even together in solidarity. So that's what I think we should be really looking at. So let's see how it goes.
Well, hopefully this issue will just put down, because sport unites the whole world. It's a unifying factor. Just have to use that particular tool to bring peace. After all, we know how many issue of crisis that sports have brought peace to settle. Hopefully, the Ukrainian-Russian issue will be settled also. Now, moving away from that particular focus on Russia taking FIFA and UEFA to Court of Arbitration for Sport. Now, let's talk about a particular player. His name is Lautaro Martinez. Martinez played for Inter Milan, but right now Manchester City are in pursuit of this young Argentine striker. Well, the reason why they are receiving that particular boost is the fact that a particular player that played for Borussia Mönchengladbach, his name is Marcus Thuram, I beg your pardon, Marcus Thuram, the son of Lilian Thuram, right now is interested. Inter Milan wants to go for him. And if Inter Milan going for Marcus Thuram, well, Man City, they've been eyeing Lautaro Martinez for a long time. So that will give them the chance to actually go for that. Means that, oh, Inter Milan want to go for Thuram, then it means we can't go for Lautaro.
Okay, when it comes to transfer markets, Inter Milan, they are very, very, very good and very intelligent. What do I mean? Look at what they did in case of Romelu Lukaku. They sold Lukaku to Chelsea. You know how much they sold him? Over £80 million. And they got Zeko almost free of charge. From Roma, free transfer. So They are very good when it comes to that. So probably they've seen the sign that, oh, Martinez also wants to go to Manchester City. And we know Manchester City right now, they don't really have a top 9 per se. So there's need for them to boost their team against next season. Oh, if they are coming, let's cash out again like we used to do. And let's go for Lilian Thuram's son and bring him, Marcus, and bring him to. So it's going to be a very good one. So in any case, they are not losing anything.
They are not losing anything. And if you consider the fact that Martinez is from Argentina, so it's like replacing
Sergio Aguero.
Good one there. We've been looking at the possibility of Manchester City getting to sign Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan. Inter Milan are looking at signing Marcus Thuram from Borussia Mönchengladbach. So it's going to be like a swap. As Thuram is coming in, Lautaro will be going to Manchester City. Well, if that works out, that will be a plot because we know how good Lautaro Martinez has been with Inter Milan. Looking at that particular story now, our time is running out. Before we go, let's quickly look at well, when it comes to football and other sports in Nigeria, attention has been, in fact, let me say 70% on football and 30% on other sport. One day I sat down, what could be the reason why we take football so important and treat other sports lesser? Because you look at other countries, they take almost all the sports very important. Yes, football is is the beautiful bride, but each time other competitions are coming up in other sports, they give them the money, the attention, whatever they desire. But ours here is not the case. It's not the same.
And I agree with you somehow. Why? Football is the beautiful bride in anywhere in the country, but that doesn't mean you should neglect other sports. So what do we need to do? We need to go back to the drawing board. We need to go back to those days that we normally do the inter-house sport. We do sack race those days. 100 meters, 200 meters.
Even egg race. I remember egg race.
Your egg drop, you have to go back and pick it again. Even our parents will come to school. And I will say, look at my daddy. My daddy will come first. But we have
the parents' race.
The parents' race. So we have that those days, but we don't have anything like that again. The National Sports Festival also, we need to give it more attention, more awareness needs to be given to it. That is how we can go back to those days. If not, this situation will still continue. Football is not the only sport that we are good when it comes to sporting activities in Nigeria. Boxing, take a trip to Ajegune in Lagos, AJ City, and you see when people are doing sparring early in the morning. We see that a lot. Go to Ilaje, when they enter what do they call it?
They are boats.
They are boats, and they are looking for. We have them. So what we need to do now is to go back to those days that we normally make sports. We said it before. Physical and health education, it used to be a compulsory subject in those days, where everybody will go out there and you participate based on what you want to do. Is it javelin? Is it shot put?
Discus, hammer.
Even if you tell anybody, our kids right now that there's something they call disco, they'll say,
hammer. They will be like, hammer.
Is it MC Hammer or disco? Or what are you talking about? So we need to go back to that drawing board. And how can we do that? You have to start from the local governments. Let's have a situation whereby in Lagos State, for example, all the local governments will organize a sporting activities. The best will now compete in a federation competition. We can start that. We can start it. It is never too late to start.
We just so that we get it right in Nigeria by allowing other sports to also thrive the way football, we know is a beautiful bride, but we can at least let it have a better percentage of how this can be done. It's been a wonderful time on 360 Sport with Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
It's my pleasure being here. I didn't know you.
Good morning there. Thanks for staying tuned with us to watch 360 Sport on Trust TV. Do not forget to join our social media platform as we give you more in the world of sport. Thank you very much. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.